Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Inspired by Nature Summit. We inspire people to stay active and enjoy the outdoor activity to the fullness. And luckily today we have another great speaker to joining us. Her name is Cheryl Myers, and we are lucky to have Cheryl to joining us today. It's Cheryl get amazing healthy tip today to be having us to get that inspired and connect with the nature and more be staying healthy. And Cheryl, she's a certified integrated and nutrition coach. She also is the founder of Cheryl Mills Health Mills. And of course, you get amazing book published last year. It's called It Feel Good to Feel Good. So it's great tips, insight to how to say feel good to feel good. So today we're so anxious. I want Cheryl to share more about us about that. So, but without further ado, welcome to our summer, Cheryl.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Excellent. Cheryl, I know, even your background banners saying, it feel good to feel good. So, how do we do to, feel good to feel good?
And I'll tell you, I lost my health 6 years ago. And when you lose your health, you really want to feel good again. And so what we're going to talk about is what I did. I got autoimmune disease. I hurt from head to toe. And when you get your health back, you really appreciate that it feels good to feel good, which is what the title of my book is.
Yes. And I know, Cheryl, you get that story. How you be interested in being health mills and reconnect with the body and also with ourselves to stay healthy. Sharing about that.
I think that I was no different than probably a lot of you that are watching in that I had stopped listening to my body. Mm-hmm. I set up a perfect storm. I was working 24/7. I had my own business. I was eating on the fly. I was stressed to the hilt. I thought it was good for me. Ends up being chased by a tiger 24/7 is not a good thing. Everything that was wrong with creating a toxic body and a toxic environment, I was doing, and I wasn't in tune with my body to pick up all of the signs that my toxic load was building. So once I got sick and my doctor had no clue what was wrong with me except to throw steroids at me, where it's just something I was not going to do, I turned my business over to my employees and I started researching because I wanted to find natural ways to get my health back. And eliminating toxins and reducing my stress were two of the big things that I did. And then I found a functional MD, which is a root cause doctor. My doctor is trained at Yale. She got her MD there, but she got sick. So she went for additional training in what's called functional medicine. So instead of looking just at one organ system, they look at the entire body and they want to heal you at the root cause so that you get back your health. They can give you drugs, but they prefer to do it through other methods. So between those three things, when I started getting my health back, wow, does it feel good to feel good? I decided at the time I was 67, I'm now 69, I was going to go back to school, I was going to become a health coach because I find people all the time that, like me, are not in tune with their body, they're not listening to their body, and they have all the signs of inflammation, which can take as long as 20 years to build up before it pops up its ugly little head as cancer, autoimmune disease, and there's 140 of them now. Even things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all your skin diseases, eczema, psoriasis, all of that is connected to what's called the gut, which is the place where your entire immune system lives. And so you got to clean it up, because when you clean that up, you lower your inflammation, so you lower your possibility for disease. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the ways you can lower your inflammation, lower your toxic load, and get your life back.
Right. Just tapping in when you mentioned lower that inflammation, lower that toxins we are getting in, because people still thinking what would be the recommendation to detox our body, particularly in a healthy way, because some people will go really extreme way, and also we said how to get that detoxing happen in a healthy way and balance, and with our body not go too much, but still keep that body have that function, slowly get that detox out, and also in we call the natural, and how does that natural is helping us to doing it? Can you sharing us about that?
Yeah, there are a lot of people running detoxes.
Mm-hmm.
I did a detox when I first got sick that was very hard on my liver with supplements, and I really don't think that's the way you need to go. You need to detox by doing a variety of things. You need to drink a lot of water. You're supposed to drink half of your weight in ounces of water a day, and you add lemon to it because your body needs to be alkaline to fend off disease. So first you need to start drinking a lot of water. You never drink it out of plastic. Plastic leaches chemicals into it, which is our endocrine disruptors, and they interrupt your body, and all those toxins get into your cells. So you start there. Then you start to heal your gut. And the best way to heal your gut, which is a detoxifying agent, is to take glutathione. Your liver is supposed to be making enough glutathione for you to function on, but my liver had stopped doing that completely because my toxic load was so high. So I take glutathione. That helps me rebuild the leaky gut lining in my gut, which is only one cell thick. So you need to do that. Then I drink a green juice every morning when I get up, which will detox your body naturally without chemicals, without supplements. And it's a mixture of lemon, a bunch of parsley, or a bunch of cilantro. I am a wuss with anything that's even slightly spicy, so I use parsley. So you want 2 lemons, a bunch of parsley, a bunch of spinach or kale, 1 cucumber, 1 green apple, and then an inch-size piece of ginger. You put that all into a Vitamix or a high-powered blender, and zoom, 16 ounces of filtered water with all of those ingredients. You have a nice size green juice, and that will naturally detox your body. I started doing it because I discovered I was loaded with heavy toxic metals, and I am also loaded with heavy toxic mold. We did the mold compounded material that should have gotten the mold out of me. It didn't, but by doing this green juice, my body is starting to detox itself. So you need to give it support, and that's the best way to do it. And then you want to detox what I call the toxins of the mind. You want to reduce your stress, and the best exercise I have found for that is the Dr. Andrew Weil 4-7-8 breathing exercise, where you breathe in for 4, you hold it for 7, and then you whoosh it out of your mouth for 8 with your tongue up against your teeth. You do that 3 times, twice a day, and it will lower your parasympathetic nervous system. I happened to go to my functional doctor yesterday. I was stuck in terrible traffic. I drive an hour to her office, and she's worth it. But I was worried about my blood pressure. So for the last 10 minutes, I did the Andrew Weil 4-7-8 breathing exercise. When I got there, she was ecstatic because my pulse was so low and my blood pressure was normal. So you do that twice a day. It's 3 rounds twice a day, which is 6 minutes altogether, and that will detox your stress in your body. You make sure you get 7 hours of sleep, and then you make sure you get outside and enjoy nature. There is a huge movement to ground in the earth. I go outside. I have a rose garden. I pick flowers to take to my office a couple times a week. I have my own herb garden in the back where I go and I pick my own herbs to do my own cooking. You want to cook your own food because you want to control what you're putting in your mouth. So 90% of the food that I eat, I make myself. I've discovered I have 18 food sensitivities, so that way I don't have to worry that some restaurant's going to put something into my food that's one of my kryptonites. And there is a test to find out what your sensitivities are, which cause inflammation. And if you go to my website, you can find all out about the test I just found a test that you can do yourself without going through your doctor. You can order the test, you prick your finger, you send it in, and it comes back for what food you need to avoid to reduce your inflammation. And then you avoid at all costs anything genetically modified. You're not going to put those things in your mouth ever again. They are disgusting. They have so many herbicides on them, or they are actually given Bt toxin that grows into the plant, which blows up the insect's stomach when it eats it, but it's also blowing up all your good gut bacteria, which you desperately need for your immune system. So you do all those things. You get outside, you enjoy nature, you get your hands in the dirt, you clean up your GMOs whenever possible, you eat organic. There's a list of dirty dozen things you never buy unless they're organic because they have so many pesticides on them. You do these things and then you start to listen to your body, and your body will vote and tell you that it's happy, it has joy, and you start to get back your
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it in a big fast nutshell. Eliminate your sugar, it's poisoning you, and it also interrupts your gut and your gut wall.
Yeah. Like
I'm
just
going to give you
like
20 tips on how to gain back your health by detoxing. But getting outdoors and getting into nature, that brings you joy, that lowers your stress, that gives you movement. It's a critical component of your health. And it's important that you make time for it because it will bring you joy and it will give your, I don't want you to go out and run a marathon at 69. You're not going to do that. I never was going to do that. But just getting out of doors and getting your heart beat up a little bit, getting your fingers onto plants and onto the earth and enjoying the beauty of nature is really important for your mind health. So that's part of health that's very important.
Yeah, great. Just like you said, that detoxing, it can be like a physical, you drink and eat healthy. Like, just thank you for sharing that secret recipe, to doing that, the green juice. And also it's really, I like the way you share, like, Joe, it's about also say detoxing our mind, because lots of the thing also is our mindset, and this kind of negative thinking also is put lots of the detox in our body. And just like that, one of the detoxes ingredient you just mentioned is the nature. Put some nature's elements in that as part of the process to be detoxing. It's more
It's important. I'm very lucky. I live right at the base of the San Gabriel Mountains. So whenever possible on a Saturday or Sunday, I have a favorite path into the mountains called the Gabrielini Trail. And it is beautiful. You go through groves of trees. We hear woodpeckers. We see owls. Just being out in nature and enjoying it and all its beauty is so sensational. And I walk until there's a little stream that goes along. You can actually walk all the way from the foot of the 5,000 foot mountain to the top. I don't do that, but I walk for an hour till I get to the creek. I go over the creek. I go through a grove of beautiful white wood trees. I'm not exactly sure what kind they are, but the flowers and the smells and the herbs that are growing naturally on the path really just sets the tone for my whole week and my mental health.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your mental health. There's a whole chapter on my book called Ants, ANTS. As annoying as I find those little critters that get in my kitchen, I find the worry thoughts that get in my head. And you have to really control your inner critic because it's not doing you any good and it is not telling you the truth. So you need to learn to get your inner champion to overcome your inner critic. And to do that in the beginning, what I did was I would write down all these nasty negative thoughts that were going through my head because I had a pretty healthy dose of worry. And then you let your inner critic have the column right next to it where you tell your mind that that's not true. Why would you say that about yourself? And you do that until that whole inner critic quiets down and goes away because you need a clean mind that is ant-free. So that's also an important component to health. Don't let your thoughts be crazy and make you miserable because you're worth your inner champion. So bring your inner champion out.
I know, thank you for sharing what we always said. As the champion and the critic, they're all like fighting, but like you said, it just keep going because that also is the way for us to hear the voice, our body and also our mind, and how that's like a sequence in the same level. That is always the best. And that also brings up the question: why is it so important for people put that extra effort, to eat right, but also learn the skill to stay healthy? Because sometimes we said, we not say we stop learning, but sometimes we feel like, okay, this is something I know, but they never put that extra effort to still learning something new because it's always something, it's that is how the way we, particularly when we say growing older, we always assume we already know it all, but it doesn't grow that way, you know.
There's a
So
lot of conversation right now about how important it is for seniors, particularly, which I am one, I'm 69, to have a purpose and a meaning and to help other people.
yeah.
So I became a health muse because I want to inspire other people to learn to listen to their body and to clean up the toxins so that they can feel as good as possible without pills. I take a few pills. I take metformin for diabetes, but I don't use any over-the-counter drugs at all anymore, and I'm not on any pills for autoimmune disease. I have reversed it by getting the things like the mold and the heavy toxic metals out of my body, by doing my green drink, by taking glutathione, by healing my gut, and getting outside into nature and increasing my joy, all of which is very important at our age. Reducing the ants, reducing the stress. And the last thing that I haven't mentioned is to form community. The number one thing to have a healthy life are the relationships that you foster that bring you love and community. So don't forget that. That's a very important component to health. So go walking with a girlfriend. Go enjoy nature with somebody that you care about. My husband loves to go walk in the woods with me, and we just bought a second home in Sedona, and we go a half a block down our street, and Bell Rock is right there. So it's going to be really easy for us to get out and enjoy nature. But wherever you are, there is some place that will bring you joy that's outside that you can go move. You can do it with people who you care about to get your day off on the right foot. And then you need to have a passion about something. I am very passionate to teach people what I did to get well, because when you walk and if you have any of the symptoms of inflammation, which you can go right onto my website and read a blog about, do you have any of these symptoms? If you have those symptoms, then I want you to learn how to reduce them, because I don't want you on pills. You don't have to live a life of pain. I had so much pain I couldn't even get out of bed. My pain is all gone. You can also accomplish that if you clean up your life, you clean up the toxins, and you add these other components that are very important that I just talked about.
Yeah, it's also like, you know, thank you so much for sharing, particularly that when we're growing older, and also particular people are getting retired, or maybe they're after their retirement life, they would like to be more like a long, have that kind of feel lonely, like a lone soldier thing. So we always say, like, from the community, oh, we just like go with some group, right? With some meetup group, and with some do your own pace, you know, that kind of the group. Like you said, go out and just enjoy, and just for a very walk. That also really helped, particularly for us to form that kind of a bonding. It's also with the community, also with the
And it's
nature.
about toxic load. So just start. My book is set up so it doesn't matter where you start. Each chapter can stand alone. And if you follow things in any chapter in my book and reduce the toxins in that chapter, you've taken a big giant leap back to health, because each thing that you eliminate that's toxic in your life will bring you one step closer to health. And that's the whole point. You can do it no matter what state your health is or how old you are. Just start somewhere.
Yeah, like you said, start somewhere. We always say never too late to start somewhere, but the only matter is just you take the step. We always say if you put one foot in front of another, you will reach to your the final destination.
Right.
So that is how the way. This from the tips from that we call the health mails to give us the tips, you know, to get started. And I know, Cheryl, like you have a great, amazing the gift. You know, every speaker we're having a gift to our audience, and I know you're having some really a great gift for our audience. So what was that? We are so excited to know about it.
I'm going to give you a handout on 20 things you can do starting today that will significantly improve your health. And they're like, avoid GMOs. You know, my book explains to you in detail what they are, but trust me, once I learned what they really were, you don't want to go there. It talks about where to start with eating organic, because you want to do what's on the Dirty Dozen list. You don't buy that. There are like number 12 on the Dirty Dozen list is a potato. It has 76 toxins on it. You don't want that. If you're going to eat a potato, you want to buy an organic one. But the list, which I'm going to give you, also has the Clean 15. You do not have to worry about whether it's organic. So use your money wisely and find some way in your budget that you can loosen up money to buy the Dirty Dozen items organic. Maybe it's not buying that coffee at the neighborhood coffee store on your way to whatever you're doing. There are places where you can save money. Cook your own food. Don't go out for all your meals. It's so much healthier for you if you control what's going into your food. So I'm giving you 20 different things that you can do that are really easy to incorporate into your life that will make you have a healthier life. And a lot of the things I've talked about now are on the list, but there obviously are a lot more because 20 items, we haven't gone over them all. But each one of them, even if you set aside 20 weeks and you add one of them in each week, because remember, it's about lowering your toxic load. So no matter where you start, you will do that. And I want to tell a quick story. The very first time I spoke to a corporate group, an older man walked up to me and said, "You're going to tell me what to eat and I'm not going to do it." And I looked at him and said, "And I don't care." He went, "What do you mean you don't care?" I said, "There are lots of places that you can start when you hear what I have to say. So you don't have to change what you're going to eat yet. Eventually, when you start to realize that your body is feeling better, your body tells you that it wants you to keep going, and then you get an incentive from your own body to clean up. But in the beginning, just start somewhere." He came back at the end of it and said, "My wife says I have to apologize to you, and you made a lot of sense, so we're going to do a lot of it." So, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter how resistant you are to what I'm telling you. Start somewhere, let your body vote, and your body will propel you to a healthier life.
Great sharing. Thank you so much for this beautiful gift. You know, Cheryl, it's like you said, you just say the words, let our body vote it, and also let our mind vote it. Because our body and mind, we both need to feel good to feel good, you know.
Right.
So because that's just the way we give the best gift to our body and the mind. It's just we both need to feel good to feel good. That is just.
And I tell you, it does feel good to feel good. I was very motivated to find a way to go back to health, and I was feeling lousy for a long time, and I didn't even notice. So you don't want to go over the top. You don't want to have those 20 years build up to a point where you do have a lot of pain. You want to start to lower your toxic load immediately, and it's very easy to do.
Yeah. So audience, like you said, it's very easy to do. It's only matter you just take the first step and go ahead do it. So that is the beautiful the way we just get that tips from Cheryl today. So thank you so much, Cheryl.
Learn to laugh. It's the best medicine in the world. So get outside, have joy, and laugh. Life is too short not to have a lot of joy.
Yep. Life is too short, so don't wait. So smile for today. So stay tuned, audience. We have a more great speaker to joining us. So once again, it's a great, amazing today's interview with our Cheryl, our favorite.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Go to my website, CherylMHealthMuse.com. It is loaded with great information for your health, and it will also be on my free handout so that you can find it easily. And if you buy the book, there's a workbook that goes with it so that you can write down what you find is toxic, and then when you run out of it, you replace it with something that's not toxic. So it doesn't even make you go bankrupt to do this. It's very systematic, and you can have a better life.
So, audience, like you said, always like a feel good to feel good. So let's stay tuned. See you later.